Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove a Foley catheter. So before we get started, we want to ensure that we have a doctor's order for removal. We're going to check our policy and procedure manual, and we're going to do good hand hygiene. When I enter the room, I'm going to ID my client using two identifiers. For this procedure, I'll be using medical asepsis. So the only supplies that I'm going to require is a pair of procedure gloves and a syringe. I want to check my care plan to see what size bulb was used to inflate the catheter. So in this instance, my care plan indicated that my client had a 12 French Foley with a 10 cc bulb. I'm going to make sure that I have a 10 cc syringe with me. I'm going to put on my procedure gloves, and I'm going to explain to my client what I'm about to do. I'm going to expose the catheter, and I'm going to remove the securement device. And so then basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my syringe and I'm going to put it in the port. So the same port that you use to inflate the bulb. So as you can see, the fluid is starting to go back into my syringe and deflate the bulb. I don't want to put any extra traction on here because I could damage the bulb and then make it very hard to remove. So I'm just going to let this go on its own till it gets to the end. And once it's completely deflated, so I'll just give it a little tug to make sure it's all come through, I'm going to instruct my patient to take a few deep breaths in and out. And while they're doing that, I'm just going to gently remove that catheter. I'm going to observe the catheter once I've removed it to make sure that it's all intact and that nothing got left behind. And then I'm just going to roll it up into my glove here, and I'm going to take my glove and I'm just going to put it over the end of the catheter. So I'll do that with both. I'll dispose of that in the garbage later, and then I'm also going to do pericare for my client. I'm going to instruct them to increase their fluid intake, and then let them know that the first time that they do go to void, that they might have a slight burning sensation. I can use things like running water in the bathroom or running some warm water over the perineum just to help to initiate that first void. I'm also going to document in my client record when I remove the catheter and how my client tolerated the procedure. I'm going to want to put a collection hat in the bathroom so that I can basically monitor how much urine output that they are actually putting out. If my client hasn't voided within 8 hours, I need to start looking at more interventions in terms of what I can do. So if they haven't voided in that 8-hour span, how much fluid did they take in? I'd be doing an assessment of the abdomen, and possibly I would need to reinsert the catheter again. So that concludes catheter removal.